What is going on, guys? This is Esquilo here and welcome to another Wi-Fi battle. This time we're going up against none other than Joey, PokeaimMD. I was fortunate enough to grab a battle with him. I just hit him up on Discord to see if he was available to have a battle, and he was, and we did have a battle. This is actually a second battle that I had with him. The first battle, I didn't know that Z parting shot actually would make the game DC. I thought it was just on battle spot because I did read about it, but I didn't read that it was in all online games or battles. So unfortunately I'm not able to showcase that battle because it did DC midway, which is really unfortunate because it was such a good battle at that point that the game DC'd. So I just grabbed the team that I'm most comfortable using as of now, which is my Tapu Lele with Mega Alakazam core and my Tsundrina, my queen, the MVP of the team, or so I hope so. And as for Joey, he's bringing his Karmi, his Tapu Lele, Garchomp, Magnezone, Sharpedo, and Mimikyu. And Mimikyu, it's always a pain to deal, because if a well-played Mimikyu can really just clean up in the late game. So I have to be careful with that. If I can burn it with my Marowak or the Breaker hits this guy somehow early game, that would be perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start off with my Serena, because I can just return out on any lead that he goes for. I think only specs Tapu Lele has the potential to kill my Serena in one shot, or even I think a Brave Bird from a Scarry does, but I do outspeed Scarby, so I can just return out and go and break this thing sturdy and just go into my Marowak to put as much pressure as I can. So that is exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go for a U-turn. I do break his sturdy. We see that he's not rocking helmet, so he might be either leftovers or he could be white herb, which in this case he is white herb because I did see that in the previous game. So he's definitely a lead suicide Skarmy to set up as much charges as he can. So unfortunately I thought that I could have scared him out with my Marowak, and I just went for a Will-O-Wisp, but he didn't fall for it. He just goes for his spikes, and I waste a turn here, which means that he will be able to set up another layer of spikes on me as I go for my on the next turn for flavors, because unfortunately I'm not offensive Marowak. I am more Spadef set just so I can deal with the likes of Tapu Koko, Circuitry, and all that shenanigans. So I'm gonna go for the Flare Blitz. I know I'm not gonna kill, but I'm gonna deal a lot of damage, and what I'm gonna try and do this next turn is he's 100% going to go for his last layer of spikes. So what I'm gonna try and do is just go into my Mandibuzz and try and get a defog off on the Skarmory, because Mandibuzz does outspeed Skarmory unless he has a speedy Skarmory. So I'm gonna go into my Mandibuzz. I'm gonna take 25% of rocks, as luckily he just goes for his last layer of spikes. So right here, this is the perfect opportunity for me to defog. If he was to go into my Magnezone, so be it. I have a safe switch in into my Alolan Marowak, and since I didn't really take much damage, I can deal with it. So I'm gonna go for the defog, but he has speed on his car with outspeed Mandibuzz, which is really well played on his end, and I would be able to go for my defog. So what I'm gonna try and do now is there is not much that he can do. He can go for Brave Birds, so be it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go for a U-turn, as he actually switch out, which means I will get the switch initiative right here. He goes into his Magnezone, and as I go for the U-turn, and I don't really have much to deal with his Magnezone apart from Marowak, so I'm just gonna go into my Serena actually, and I'm thinking, okay, are you Scarf, are you Specs? I'm gonna see what set you are. I take a lot from these hazards. These hazards are really taking a lot of my health. So I'm just gonna go for the high jump. I'm gonna hope that he's gonna stay in, but he switch out. He goes into his Mimikyu, and Serena is just like kicking the air. He's just gonna go straight up through Mimikyu, and he's gonna crash. It's gonna take a lot of health. I do have my leftovers, but it doesn't really matter because Mimikyu outspeeds me naturally, so he can just go for Shadow Claw and kill my Serena. But he goes for the Play Rough. He lands it. I did go for the drop kick here, just to see if drop kick would actually work with these guys, if I could make his attack fail or fall. But he connects with the Play Rough and kills me. So I'm gonna go into my Mandibuzz because I know I can leave one Play Rough. I'm hoping he doesn't have taunt on this thing. He doesn't. He goes for the Surge Dance, which is pretty scary, but I'm able to get my defog off, which means that the remainder of my team, especially Marowak, can come in as much as he likes now on things like okay, there's not much that he can come in to be honest. At this point, hey, Marowak doesn't do much anymore in this game. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch out into my Celesteela because I know a play rough is coming my way and I resist that. And as you guys can see, a +2 play rough does a lot of damage. So I get my leftovers back, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna go for a heavy slam. I don't know if I leave a +2 Shadow Claw, but I just want to break these guys. If I break these guys, it will be much easier to deal with. So he's gonna go into Skarmory, and with this heavy slam, I will be able to kill the Skarmory. And with my Beast Boost ability, my special defense is actually gonna go up, which means that at this point Celesteela is looking pretty good. I do have Protect. If he brings in his Magnezone, I can Protect, try and get as much health as I can, so I can see what kind of set, because he didn't really show me what kind of set he is so far. So he's gonna go into his Magnezone again. I know he's not Scarf. Yeah, he's not Scarf, so I'm gonna see if he's indeed Specs or not. He goes for his Thunderbolt, I do Protect, and at this point, this is where I see what kind of set he is, if he's Specs or not. I'm gonna go for the Flamethrower because unfortunately I don't have Earthquake. I have Flamethrower for the likes of Mega Scizor because Mega Scizor is a bigger pain to deal with instead of Magnezone with this team. So I'm gonna go for the Flamethrower. It is gonna be a 2-hit KO, which is perfect, and after a Protect and after double leftovers, this turn and the next turn, I have a chance of leaving this Thunderbolt. I didn't calc. I'm just going to go by how much the bar went down the first time. And he's gonna go for Thunderbolt, I Protect, and at this point I'm almost at half health, which means that I have the potential to leave another Thunderbolt. I am exactly at 102, exactly half health than I was before. He's gonna go for Thunderbolt and he is gonna kill me. He does get a crit. I don't know how much his crit matter. It might have been a roll, I don't know, I didn't really count. So my Celesteela goes down because had I killed this Magnezone, I would have been in such a good position against the likes of Sharpedo and against the likes of Garchomp as well with my Celesteela. So he's gonna go for the Flash Cannon. He shows me that he's not locked into a move, which means that I don't really know what kind of set he is. He might be AV, because as I said, I didn't really count during this battle, so I don't know how much that Flamethrower damage meant in terms of his set. So I just killed this thing with an Earthquake, but I did take a good chunk of damage with the Flash Cannon. And he brings in his Mimikyu, and I'm like, hopefully I can connect with Will-O-Wisp and I will leave a Shadow Claw, but he goes for Swords Dance, and since he set up on my Marowak, it only means one thing. This Mimikyu is gotta have a Lumberry, so I'm gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp. I'm hoping he's not Lumberry, that he just didn't know that Burn would go through these guys, which he definitely know, and he's indeed Lumberry, and at this point I still have a slight chance to win, but it's gonna be super hard because I do have to sack my Tapu Lele to still win this battle. So he's gonna go for Shadow Claw. I don't have a switch in because Mandibuzz, I think even 2 Shadow Claws might kill it from that range that I am at. So my Marowak goes down. I'm gonna go into my Mandibuzz. I'm gonna clench my butt cheeks. I'm gonna pray that he misses his play rough, and I'm gonna go for a U-turn. He misses the play rough. I go for the U-turn. I break his disguise, and after I still have a slim chance, a slim hope, a little hope, I make the biggest misplay of my 7th generation probably. What I should have done right here was going into Tapu Lele, set up the Psychic Surge, which means that he wouldn't be able to go for Shadow Sneak, which means that my Alakazam would be able to outspeed his Mimikyu. He goes for Shadow Sneak, he kills my Mega Alakazam. I have a Tapu Lele in the back, but I am not Scarf, I'm Specs and I'm modest, so even if he's adamant, he will still outspeed me. And yeah, this is gonna be the battle, because even if he misses a play rough from my Mandibuzz, I can recover all I want. All he has to do is bring his own Tapu Lele to finish me off. So Shadow Claw is gonna finish off my Tapu Lele, my little Lindley. I'm sorry, I played really bad this game. And all I have left is Mandibuzz. All he has to do is go for the play rough. Even if, as I said, even if he misses, he still has his own Tapu Lele in the back that can just go for the Moonblast and just kill me. And I have enough. There is no way that my Mandibuzz will be able to 1v1 the remaining of his team. So this is gonna be the battle. Thank you, Joey, for the battle. Really appreciate it. But as I said, I did make a really big misplay against the Mimikyu. After I U-turned out, I should have definitely gone into my Tapu Lele. It would have died, of course, but it would have meant that I would be able to go into my Alakazam the next turn and go for Shadow Ball, which means that it will be my Alakazam and my Manibuzz against Tapu Lele, against his Garchomp, and against his Sharpedo, which means I would still have a chance, depending on his set on his Tapu Lele, which was Scarf, by the way. I still had a chance to leave a Moonblast, unless he has Shadow Ball. I don't know how much Shadow Ball does over Moonblast, but had he gone into Sharpedo, he would probably protect, and I would have gone into my Manibuzz. The amount of health that I was at with my Manibuzz, I would still be able to leave Waterfall. I could have Roost, Foul Play, Roost, U-turn, all that, but it all comes down to that misplay that I did, going into my Alakazam before going into my Tapu Lele. So I learned with that. I'll definitely take in consideration the next time I'm in a similar position. I'll think about it better because I didn't really think through. I at the point that Mimikyu Sword Danced and I saw the Lumberry, in my head I was like, I lost. So I just went into my Alakazam. What I should have done was, as I said, going to Tapu Lele, but it is what it is. I learned with my mistake. Once again, thank you, Joey, for the battle. I'll leave his YouTube link in the description. You guys already know who it is. If you guys don't know, I don't know what you guys are doing with your life. But this is going to be all for today, guys. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I will catch you guys next time. So, peace!